Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're moving on into our second best of one, and we're going from Group C to B. We're working our way up. It's no longer A, B, C. It's C, B, A. Maybe we end up at A. I don't know. But the next game is going to be Liquid taking on Bonk. Now, Bonk did manage to dominate Prodigy. They had a very good scoreline there. But for Liquid, it wasn't quite as easy. It went almost the distance there, Mitch.
Hey, I'm going to take a back seat on that one before we get tweeted out a couple more times. You know what? I love Liquid. They're great. Please don't hurt me.
Here we go. Here we go. You sell out. You little sellout. Now, this is the bracket for Group B so far. It was 13-10 against Skade. So Skade put up a good performance, right? Admittedly. But Bonk, they dominated Prodigy. Prodigy being a bit of a mixed team in there, right? Showing off a lot of what this agency of players has to offer. And they already tweeted out themselves. They had a bit less practice time than what a lot of the other teams had in there. So Prodigy will be going up against Skade in the elimination match. And we'll be covering Bonk going up against Liquid in the winners match. Oh boy, I cannot wait to see this go down because Bonk and his boys, they look to try and deal some big damage here, and they have some insane plays come out there. But is it enough to take down the fully tried and tested team of Liquid?
That's where the question really lies, Banks. Is it going to be enough? I don't know. For a team like Bonk, Liquid would be a giant scalp to take, but yeah, a very, very difficult one. We saw the game versus Prodigy obviously be a very, very dominant one. And the players that we looked at, Luzza and Vac, well, Luzza showed up, but Vac was nowhere to be seen on the server. This is a player that I think was accused of cheating more times than I can count. And is completely legit, but just an animal when it came through those open qualifiers. Now, to come through and not deliver that kind of performance, a little bit upsetting. I gotta be honest, I was hoping to see that same Vac. But here we are, we're looking at Bonk. And Safe delivered a great show, 19 kills by the end of it. But really, who I'm looking at is Yassine. Because you seen him take 7 opening duels. But big shout out to the first deaths as well, which is really important. He got 7 opening duels go his way and 6 go against him. So he was a participant in nearly every opening fight.
It's pretty damn impressive, especially how quickly and how differently these kind of fights can go down, right? Especially when we look at all the first bloods and how it comes into play. Now, the main thing for me here with Liquid, right, is they are a team that probably looks like one of the most structured teams in terms of strategy and style. They definitely have a well thought out game plan when it comes to it. But often their struggles come up against these teams that throw out a bit more of the mixed style, right? The unpredictable style that you don't know whether they're going left or right kind of thing. And that's exactly what you have to be careful of when you go up against a team like Bonk. They heavily rely on a lot of raw aim and skill, but their synergy and their teamwork has improved time after time. The problem here for Bonk is, though, sometimes they let it slip. The qualifiers, they can't make it through. Like, we expected to see them back at the Allied event. Well, it didn't even happen for these guys. They got eliminated and we were like, whoa, wait a second. We thought you guys would easily make it. So this, to me, is the real test. We know damn well they're probably practicing against Liquid on a regular basis. They're definitely practicing against some of the best within Europe. But for me, this is the proving grounds. It's a best of one, your best chance to upset the competition and just go straight through and say, cool, look, we've qualified through groups.
Now, I wonder where it's going to come down to in terms of maps, because I can see if it's an Ascent, I think they have a pretty good chance of taking it. But Team Liquid probably won't want to go there. They'll probably be looking for something like a Haven or a Bind, where they'll find a nice advantage. Split, I'd see as a mid-ground between these two teams. So basically, once we're looking at a split, things are good. If it's Ascent, it's good for Bonk, and anything else goes towards Team Liquid pretty favorably.
Ooh. Thing is, I know when it comes to Haven, right? Liquid, I would never want to challenge them on that. That is the map that they have nice setups from. You can kind of get their style a bit more predictable, like right, when they hit B every single time. Wall off left, push up on in it. But it's the way they deal with the retakes that impresses me so much, Mitch. How many times do we see it? It's like, oh, they're in a 4v5 retake. Liquid, they're not going to have much of a chance in this. And then they just explode with these great timings. They have the perfect use of abilities, and many teams struggle to deal with it.
There's a decent chance we end up on Haven. Thank you.
There you go. You're trying to sound smart here, Mitch, aren't you?
The logic was, right, Bonk are probably going to ban Bind. I'd imagine that's what they went for. They lost 13... Well, no, they beat Party Parts way back. Then they went 13-4 down to NIP, 13-5 to G2. It's not a great map, and they don't play it a lot. Ascent, they would want to play, but I imagine Liquid ban that, so it's between Split and Haven. And obviously, Haven being where Liquid would feel more confident, but don't get a choice in it. they'll be pretty happy to be here. I agree with you entirely, though. This isn't a map where you'd want to face them. We've got Split as the other 50-50, which would have definitely been nicer for Bonk, and we'll see what they're able to do, because delivering the opening duel, we saw it in the previous game, and you've seen it just here as he's able to find the opening.
You've seen it indeed. It's the Reyna of Scream that goes down, and one of the few players to me that uses Reyna successfully multiple occasions. This man knows when to go invulnerable. This man knows when to heal up, and he knows how to use his character to the best of its abilities. Here for Bonk, though, on the defensive side, this Liquid push already coming in on them. But you've seen with the grenades, and once again, Mitch, it's wall up on the left, it's push on through. And they're going to go all the way through to A, potentially. No, the spikes. Oh, the spike was second-guessing itself. They were thinking, do we just plant in? A bit of damage being done by Bonka, but he's not able to land all the shots. Safe actually gets the safety with it all. Nicely done. Still gets the kill regardless, and it's a 4v3. Now, Liquid are the ones they're going to have to hold strong with this spike being planted. Cryptix doesn't have much health to work with. There's no opportunity for them to get healed up either. Eccles, he gets absolutely wrecked. And this is now game on. Bonk will start their approach. They start to fall in. They're not checking Cryptix's position, but it doesn't really matter as they all fall to safe. He stands up. The Jet is the one largely in charge, and the pistol round goes to Bonk.
Nice opening now for Bonk to find that 1-0 Banks. That's what they would have been looking for. The little bit of confidence up against Liquid. The map bans and vetoes obviously haven't gone their way, but that doesn't mean that the map can't. Now, if you're Team Liquid and you lose that opening, but you manage to get so much progress, you're not going to be terribly upset. In fact, you can see there's even a little bit of wind in their sails because of Marshall's coming out on Solkas. Now, with all the rest of the pistols in play, I'm guessing we're not going to see an upgrade on many people, because obviously you're going to want these players to keep the majority of any Scream going in for armor, maybe a little bit of overcommitment. But when it comes down to Reyna, I suppose this is actually something that you can forgive, definitely. If he manages to find a kill, especially combined in with Solkas on the Marshall, what a shot to save. That was a pixel angle. He was obviously pre-aiming that as he came around. But for Scream, landing a kill means he gets the overheal, and that's full armor to play around. Now there's even a weapon for him to retrieve. This gets scary, Banks.
I'm just impressed by Solkas straight away from the get-go. Now, Bonkar's going to have the extra information here. Aaron easily does take down Solkas now. Will back away, grab himself the extra orb point. All down for that. And that actually puts him in a nice position, right? You kind of pinpointed the position of where Liquid were at that time on top of the information that Bonkar had. Now you've got a good chance in this to actually have an understanding of where they'll go. Okay, cool. The Marshall's picked back up. But for now, you've evened up the scoreboard. You've gained yourself the extra point. And you can just sit and hold your positions now and play it out as per normal.
Thanks. What do they do here? Yeah, the info has been gone for what? 25 seconds? So you got to make a move if you're Bonk. Try to get a little bit of map control. And look, there they are. They're pushing over towards Garage, trying to get some info. That spray? Aaron's not able to deliver. Now he's under pressure.
Oh, the straight push through. You're seen. Too aggressive. You're trying to stop that spike going down. Cryptix lines up Aaron and Liquid. Mitch, are we just going to see everyone pick up the pistol and then lose the second round? Is this just like the new meta? Ziz wants to turn that around. Bonkar's around the side as well. Kills are happening, but Ling, he's getting it done, and straight away, the judge in hand. Link, it may not be headshots. I call him the headshot machine because time and time again, he's making it work. But with a judge in his hand, he doesn't need to land a headshot. He just needs to get the close range shot. You see him crouch down. The shots all come together, and Liquid even it up 1-1.
Gotta feel bad for Scream, man. You know, being on a team with someone that you've now dubbed the headshot machine, he's got to be sat there like, Banks, do you remember me?
You know what? Scream hits headies all day long, right? But his is the one taps. Link is just like, I've got this spray control. I can go into clutches, and heads are just gonna fly. We're gonna have to keep it like a ratio on who out of both of them is hitting the most headshots. Oh, Ziz. Well, he found one of his own, and it had to be on top of Scream, you know. We've been talking about him. Sometimes that's the way it goes. It's a bit of back and forth here, but overall, Liquid are in charge. They have the bigger weapons with it all.
Michael's got to be very calm. Doesn't spin out. Push forward. So I was worried. Aaron only had a classic as well. I thought maybe, you know, if you're looking at a Sheriff, possibly even a Ghost, and he catches Eccles off guard, on the timing, maybe you could see that kill go as well. A little smoke towards C just to sell the extra fake. So you're going to have the final player arrive. Maybe see that smoke down and start to really anchor in for a little bit. Thinking that they'll be pushing through at any moment, but here you go. Now he realizes nobody garage, nobody long. It looks like he's been had. Now for Bonk, it's not like or Bonker rather. It's not like he has to just stay passive. There are weapons down on A long that he might want to go and retrieve or attempt to. As the spike's now being planted, yeah, I expected him to start moving. But at this point, it's been so long, you'll expect someone's guarding as well.
Does he just go for X? It's probably more than likely. Not too much of a hope in this one for sure. Took a couple of players down early on. It was all on Ziz to do it anyway. But in general, you weren't expecting too much to happen for Bonk in this. It wasn't like what they had with Liquid, who bought up, it got the marshals in play. And you know what? He has to take a gamble stack with it as well. So this makes sense for now.
Here's the steps. They're coming just around the corner. Bonker wants to take some heads with it. They're staying nice and passive, though, not giving him the opportunity. Out goes the recon. Breaks the tripwire, but no, he's not going to get anything done. And falling back, you might wonder, well, why the hell's he saving a classic? What's the point of that? Well, obviously, just not giving over an ult charge to his opponents. Yes, he's a Sova, and you can see Hunter's Fury do some decent work, but when you consider the players that were left alive, Eccles, okay, again, not going to be the most impactful, but if he gives that kill to Link, and they get now one step away from a res, that could actually be a pretty huge kill to come through for what would have been, I mean, look, well, what's his reward? He maybe gets one kill, drops a weapon, he's got a classic. It's unlikely that even happened. Definitely the right call to just save, because there's more to consider than just the economy in this game, or than just the credit economy anyways.
The thing I'm also a big fan of, which we didn't really touch on with Liquid, is originally Eccles was pushed onto the Operator, as well as in-game leader, as well as the Omen. But now we've seen that transition over to Link. They're continuing to adjust things. They're continuing to make things different here for the team. Again, though, what did we hear multiple times, Mitch? Ignore that the B site exists. Allow them in, and then play for the retake afterwards. We see it time and time again. And with a numbers advantage already, even if the spike goes down, a good wall off, and it wasn't just on the left-hand side, because they already had so much control here. So I'm down for what we're seeing already from Liquid to try and defend this.
Well, the paranoia onto Eccles. He can't see much. Neither can the players in the back of the site, but he's going to throw out one of his own. Now it's time to swing. He actually missed the player that's over on the site. Link got caught off guard with a really close push, and this is unfortunate. Now a 1v4. So much to be done. And I really don't think denying that defuse is going to be possible. The swing in the window just being watched by 3. A firing squad awaited him.
So 2-2 for now. Bonk. They had a good retake of their own up onto B. Drops coming in already, so they're playing the economy game smart. Did they grab an operator up on the side of Bonk as well, or did they just decide to stay off it? For the moment, it's just phantoms above everyone's head, but we know that can be a bug that comes in. I'm just interested to see if they're going to use one early on. I mean, often on Haven, we see a double operator setup come into play.
There you go. There's one in play for Link anyways, looking for a victim. You know, I couldn't play with the dragon skins. I couldn't do it. I never bought them, but oh yeah, I'd only be able to stare at them. Even in the crosshair of the operator. Look, it's breathing as it goes and shaking. No, I couldn't do it. I'd just be staring at the scales.
I use it, but I just have an uncanny way of just ignoring the skins, right? That's why I sit on my focus.
So then what's your excuse?
No, I just can't hit shots, mate.
Just old. I don't know what my excuse is.
Jay, you're young. You should have those reflexes. Well, no, we'll get you on the 3D aim trainer. We'll put your stats up there compared to everyone else.
Oh, please no. Scream versus Mitch.
So, okay, 3D aim trader needs to happen. We'll compare Mitch's score to all the other pros and just show how bad he is. But Soulcast, oh, he's popped the ult and they're going to stay defensive. The timing, he's just going to have to pop it somewhere. And, well, he's going to make the wrong choice. It goes out, finds no success. Oh, safe with the poke. He's going to go straight in for the ult. He's done a nice bit of damage as well. Aaron needs to be careful, though. Liquid, he's in window. Screamer's there. Liquid looking strong to hold on to this, but it's all going to come down to timing. Oh, safe! No, what a miss! He's brought the pistol out and still delivers, but are they going to be able to deal with Scream? He's holding on. He's in a good position. Uses the invulnerability at good time, but Yassine shuts him down. Now it's all on Cryptics. Are they going to expect this swing? It comes through, but Yassine, he's ready and waiting up high. He'll get that defuse in, and it'll be 3-2 in favor of Bonk. They stand strong in it, but it's continuing to be costly for them.
Well, Bonk are showing up and putting the hurt on Liquid. My God, this is not a strong start for the attacking side on Haven as well. We want to see so much from Liquid, regardless of the side, regardless of the map. When you look at their past results as well on Haven, it is their most played map. So they have gotten away with murder just because of how the veto had to go for Bonk. As we said, there was no way they were going to allow bind through after the results previously. And typically, when we do look at Haven for Team Liquid, whenever they start on the attacking side, they're winning a solid 31% of the rounds. And the defending side, 24%. So it's actually terrible starts. They come back in the second half, and my God, they're not coming back in this round. That's for sure.
Oh no, that was domination. The push comes through, and everyone on Liquid, they fell apart real quick. Cryptics, he's just wandering forward, hoping, praying that he might be able to find a little bit of success in this. But ultimately, his best hope here is just to maybe pick up a couple of kills. Nicely done with a pistol. Looks for some more. Maybe Cryptic should have been the first man in when they start to get the attack on go. The Jet may take a shot with the operator, but can quickly back away out of that one. To be fair, Cryptic's just looking to do as much damage as possible here. Oh, he's been spotted. Doesn't get tacked up, though. Hasn't put himself on the floor just yet. He also doesn't have to be worried about the ball. Maybe a little bit. Maybe just cautiously. Safe, though. Well, he's all in safety in the back lines. He had the operator in hand. It's 4-2 and a 2-round stretch now for Bonk. They need to keep this going. They need to hold the pressure on the Liquid camp, who right now on their attacking side, getting off to a bit of a slow start. And we saw how close their opening game was, right? 13-10, they ended up winning it in a game that we thought would be a bit easier for them, if we're honest.
When you look at Team Liquid's history on this map, let's just look. They're on a 6-win streak. The first one is Esoteric. Then you come a little bit more recent. FPX, Vodafone Giants, BBL, NIP, G2. They were undefeated on this map coming throughout the Allied Odyssey. And that's a scary prospect in and of itself. The fact that their attacking side typically, though, over those games, like they've got 8 rounds versus FPX, 10 versus NIP, 5 against G2. Bonk are already looking like the more solid starting defense out of those teams that we've mentioned up against Liquid. Now, there's still times for it to spiral. Absolutely. Yeah. Liquid can come back into this and start dominating. And we know this is a team that once they get a read on you, you better be able to mix up your gameplay. But for the moment, Bonk are looking fantastic. This sneaky little play by Yassine as well. Ooh. Able to pick up Cryptics nice and close. And now it's time to just back on off with the map control that he's found.
Well, he needs to hold on to that map control as much as possible because Scream is up to his old tricks once again. Bonk couldn't hold on to the A site all alone. They're looking for the player in the back lines who can't be found just yet. Yassine, he's just waiting. He's chilling for now. 3 versus 4. It's in Liquid's favor, but they haven't found their way directly into the site. They're going to go for the A plant where they definitely have control, but they still need to be careful. Safe. It'd be wise not to back away just yet. Oh, some shots coming out forward towards him. And they will have heard him gone up high. Oh, the timing echoes. That's not what you want. The Cypher upload goes in. It's the ultimate deployed. And this might help them massively here.
It right could
on the edge.
Ooh, the jump out. Oh! Attack. It's not working out as Yassine picks up the opening. Solka's trying to get something else done, but he can't. You seen with the nade frag. That is massive. Look at the straight dive out of heaven as well.
Yeah. I'm like, why would you try that? That's so scary against a team like Liquid, and he manages to make it work. Bonk living up to their name, because Liquid, they have the numbers, they have the site, they had the plant down, but Bonk just came through like the hammer indeed.
It wasn't even needed. I guess Safe was the distraction on that play. Like, he didn't find anything, but his teammates were able to swing. Maybe just pure confusion by Liquid being like, wait, was that one of us? Surely that was us, right?
Yeah. It's like, who else would do that? What is this?
The confusion tactics.
I'm all for it. Now, the problem here, right, I give, like, Bonk, they have an opportunity where there we go. Brilliant work on your scene. Bonk may have gone down, but he evens it up, but he stands around for too long. Liquid won't allow him to get away with that one, so they still hold on to the numbers advantage. And, okay, it didn't work out for them last time. Aaron's in a good spot, but it's one that should be checked. With Scream being revived, this becomes very problematic now. Because that's a 5v3. That's a whole different kettle of fish. And look where Eccles has found himself. He's checking out all of the C site. The rotation's already coming in. Ziz is going to hear it. Oh, he peeks out at the worst timing. Drop down to low health. He's going to just have to back away. Live to fight another day. But that fight may not last long because he's on very low health here. You might just concede this, right? Because 5v3, you've only got the Omen ult in play this time. It's a very well defended C site from every single angle.
Yeah. I think it's probably the right call. If it was just a one-man disadvantage, or if someone from Liquid overextended and gave them a kill, then maybe. But at the moment, there's just no need to commit that much to a situation that really doesn't look that winnable. Liquid pulling back into a third. It's essential. We want to see them really build up those attack-sided rounds, as we said. It's been so consistent for them in the last couple of games when they've started here. There's a frag by Link. Good return on the safe.
Oh, and the paranoia going out. Ziz has to push back. He's still going on the hunt for kills. I kind of respect it, but like, oh my. Is that really worth losing your weapons over, considering you already had your ult up anyway? I don't know. Not too sold on that. Bonk is not having a great game, by the way, himself. Mr. Bonkar is down on 0-5 right now. Yeah, it's not all about fragging, but as a Sova, you need him to be alive. You need it when it comes to those retakes for him to be able to get you the extra information here. And I do feel like him and Yassine constantly getting early on aggressive here at A-Long is sometimes costing him. Like on this previous round we just saw, Mitch. We ended up watching, oh, they get the opening pick. They trade it out, it's 4v4, and then they stand too strong. But this is looking good, but he's only good for one. Scream heals himself up, straight back up into it. No revive this time around, though, so they will have to play it out 4 versus 4.
Look at this map control. They've gone in and gotten Garage as they were fighting on long. That's the upside of having, first of all, Arena, and second of all, Scream. Just being able to send him towards one part of the map to control it, but they've seen Ziz. They know he's in the close left corner. That's a perfect paranoia to push Link back. The smoke as well, just to guarantee it. And at this point, Link... Oh, he's been hurt. He broke that cage, so they know he's there. A good shot through the smoke to grab one, but still Ziz to deal with.
Oh, will Ziz get any information off this, or will he just be able to hide away? Puts himself back into B. Give him the chance to rotate in. A 2v3 certainly doable when you've got Link and Scream together, especially with the fact that we'll have some heals come in if time allows it. Oh, the weapon swap over. See how smart that is? You're playing off that who has the more health. Safe wants to be the first person in, but he's going to have to go up against Scream, who's now stuck in the smoke. This could be problematic. Or he can use it to his advantage. Tries to play off the side. The knives go flying. And a great retake coming out of Bonk. It could have been incredibly difficult for him. They swapped their weapons back over, and now it's 6-3. Bonk, they're looking to just clean sweep this group if they can keep this going.
They could be doing it, Banks. The possibilities are there. Bonk with their 6-3. You know, here's where the line starts to be drawn, right? You can see it. Liquid are approaching it. Don't allow them on 7-3. Because if they do, Liquid are on an eco. So it's no longer possible to clock up and find yourself a 7-5 scoreline, because realistically it should be the eco coming out from them, and then you're looking at obviously 8 rounds to their opponents. This is Bonk fighting to not only win the half, but do so convincingly. Ooh. Look at the immediate Hunter's
He's trying to land it. Bonk's not been having a great game, but he still gets the ult up. Safe starting with the opener. Yassine backing him up as well. Liquid are falling. 3v5 this early on. Look at the positions they have. Eccles wants to try and change this around. He's pushing his way up into B, but the shock dart right on top of him. Spam coming out. He's going to teleport towards the back. This is the spot he likes to try and play from. They've got both sides covered. The wall's gone up as well. Eccles knows he has to make a move. He can't just stay chilled on the round like this. But the numbers are so hugely in favor of Bonk. The push-in really isn't going to be that difficult. Once again, Link is one of the last alive. He's been so heavy for Liquid over and over again, but is it going to be enough in this? Probably not, as he's just fallen. Safe is just wrecking him with that operator time and time again. And here we go. 7th round secured. It should be either a really low buy or just a pistol round for Liquid. I'm starting to feel nervous for our Liquid boys. These are my Brits with a bit of Scream inside of them. And right now, not even Scream's doing it.
No, he really isn't. He had a rough start to the game, Banks, and he's still down there, right? 4 for 10. You look at the control that Liquid are able to exhibit on early round. They're getting that map control out, but that's about it. And they're in this constant cycle of force buys at this point. You've got 3 Bulldogs, a Stinger. No, look, you know me, Banks. I'm not against the Bulldogs by any means. I absolutely love the weapons, but when you're committing this heavily in, I'm expecting to now see the ultimates deployed to try and bridge that gap that still exists between the weapons. The massive advantage Bonk have built up. This is surreal to see this level of early game presence. They've gone in for an early A stack with 3 players on the Bonk side, and now they're rotating around after getting aggressive and seeing nobody. But Liquid, they've slowed it as well. They were looking for opening picks on middle garage and C long. Nothing presented itself. And so now they'll move back towards the A site. And as they do, they find this control completely for free, while the site with the Cypher utility is 3-man stack. This is a gamble by Bonk, one that might not pay off. And especially because they're on a weaker buy for Liquid, they will be so happy to find these advantages. Now it just comes down to dealing with a Jet, but we know how difficult it can be to find that trade kill after the first shot lands true.
And it's not even just the Jet. It's Safe himself with this operator has been absolutely huge. Oh, he misses a key shot. Will back away. Smoke goes down. And Soulcast, he needs to find success. This is the second ult he's popped. And it's all coming down to just unlucky timing. He throws over the spike quickly. He has to fire it off. It's not going to connect with anyone. And he's just getting so unlucky with this. We used to praise Soulcast that like he's one of the best raises in getting that utility used. But so far, at least in this game, it's not worked out for him. Though, it is a 5-on-5 retake. Liquid have control of the A site. They've got good positions in this. How are Bonk going to react? Straight boosted in. Scream just lets him go past. All the kills come in, but it's trading it out slowly. Scream trying to deal some huge damage, but he gets found in the smoke. Soulcast, he tries to stand strong. There's another ult going out. It's only the Sage to find. They're going to sit on it. But Link, oh, huge word from him. He tries to upgrade the weapon, but Bonker turns around. And although he hasn't had the greatest of games, has he got it right on the edge? Oh, just in the nick of time. The last few seconds and Bonkar saves the day. 8-3. And Liquid, they are just catching 0 breaks in this game.
You know, I liked Soulcast's ult still. Although he managed to push into the side and not find a kill, he really, it's like the, it's rooting them, right? So as soon as that's popped, they're just
stay
running.
back.
Yeah, not even near. They don't even come near trying to go for retake positions. They were like back on the B side and in spawn because you just don't want to be anywhere near it. So it clears the site. But the thing is, then you've got to convert on it. And with the weaker weapons, they were in the perfect position, having forced them now into those retakes. You can obviously play the closer angles. But you see the disadvantage in the end of having the Stinger, not being able to convert more than 1 kill because you got to go for the reload or the weapon upgrade. Really nice opening by Yassine as well. And Liquid, man, they've just been investing again and again, throwing themselves head first into a meat grinder as Bonk are just making pies out of them. They're smelling good. They're looking good. They're ready to eat. And boy,
Mitch,
they've looked hungry.
not only did he just get that opening kill, that's a Sage with an ult now wasted. The ult is gone. There's no chance of it, and it's the last round. Eccles, he snuck his way in. Okay, that's a great pickup, but now they need to hold on to this B site where they have not had much success. It's a 4 versus 4. There's still an ult up on the Jet, and Safe's been playing great. Yassine comes through, and he's getting the ability kills in as well. They're not even sure to plant. Cryptic just throws the spike down. The knives are out. Safe's checking all the corners, all the angles. He's working his way forward. And from this position, actually, he could have a huge success. Gonna check it with the operator to start off with. No one's given him the chance just yet. Checks down below, rightly so. Scream goes down even with the ult popped. It's not gonna work out. Nades coming in play. Bonk trying to make it work. Get the extra information. The knives are landing as well. Oh, Liquid once again. They sit in positions and they just get destroyed. 9-3. And we're going into the second half with a huge, phenomenal lead for Bonk. Despite Bonk himself being on, was it 0-6 at one point?
I don't think he got very far away from that in the end either, Banks. I mean, this was one hell of a one-sided half for Bonk. And the reality is you didn't need him to step up, right? The rest of the team are doing the work. And for Liquid, they started out so well. They got a 2-1 scoreline. And finishing out 9-3 after that, that's just ridiculous. Bonk, I'm lost. I'm lost for words. This is beyond a dominant position. And you were saying this was a team that you were really excited, that you enjoy watching.
Yep.
And that obviously have been developing time on time. They've struggled to get through some open qualifiers, but now they're up against arguably second best team in the world. And on a map as well that I was saying Liquid should be pretty heavily favored on. And yet, 9-3. This is unreal.
Honestly, I feel like Bonk is one of these slept-on teams. Like, the fact that they came off being ex-NIP, right? Well, Bonkar was on that team. Then he brings back a team with all Swedes, calls it Bonkar, tries to make his way forward. I've just seen progression from this team, from watching them in qualifiers to now watching them get to bigger events as well. And right now, right here in a best of one, they could be causing an upset. Now, Liquid, we've seen them come back in huge games, right? We've seen them many times be able to pull their way back in, even at worse score lines than this. You've got incredible players on the Liquid lineup. But right here, right now, I'm looking at Bonk and thinking, they ain't holding back, and it's such a hard team to predict. They are truly some individually skilled players, and Ziz right now, he's just having a field day.
Well, he has since the very beginning, right? It's not even like the last couple rounds he started to pick up kills or anything like that. This has been in just constant form, but the entirety of the Bonk lineup, maybe with the exception of Bonker on the slow start, it's just been surreal. And we look at some of the things they've been deploying, like obviously the Hunter's Fury right at the start of a round.
Oh, that was huge.
Yeah, like they clear out a lot of map control, which is one of the more important things. Like, you look at a Razel, you look at Hunter's Fury, and you see them not get a kill. It can be easy to say, oh, well, that was just wasted. But when you deploy them and you clear out parts of the map, that can often be what you're actually looking for most actively.
Now, Cryptix is disconnected, so we're just going to wait for him to come back into the game. But we can keep touching on this, Mitch, because, like you said, Liquid are definitely the second best team in Europe at the moment, right? We're seeing them have multiple successful chances over and over again. We're looking through replays like this. I just mentioned Ziz. He's been having a phenomenal game. Continues to do this around and around again. Bonka, he's not had a great game himself, but as the man being the leader for the team that's named after, walking away with a 9-3 scoreline, you got to be feeling mad confident right now.
I think
you don't even have an organization.
Yeah, that's the other thing, right? So they've got no backing. They're up against a team on a map that they're not great at compared to their opponents, and yet they're in this spot where they're answering. I mean, look, the last game on history for Bonk on Haven was versus BBL, and it was an overtime win, 14-12.
That was the qualifiers, right? Yeah, when they played all day though. So that's when I take it with a pinch of salt when teams come through qualifiers, because like, I understand that you need to be able to play through it if you want to show your stuff. But in a qualifier, you got to think they've probably played like 6 games minimum, plus whatever you did to warm up as well. Like, BBL are a great team. We've seen them. We saw them back at the Allied event. But like, you got to take some of them with the slight caveats that come in compared to like a fresh game when you're ready and raring to go, which is what the teams are doing right now.
Well, absolutely. Well, for Bonk, here we go. We're starting at the attack. Players have managed to reconnect, and whew, considering what we've seen so far, I'm worried. I'm worried for Liquid if this pistol round doesn't go their way. Their defense has to rock up, and they already have been sold a massive fake. 4 players on C in the first minute of the round. They've rotated now, but they've realized Solkus is under pressure. He drops the boom bot to buy him a little bit more time, and back towards the back of the side he goes. The rotate is in play as Eccles is there to help, but this is not ideal. They're starting to panic a little bit in terms of getting that control. No one's pushed forward to try and gain their own.
And I'm panicking, Mitch. The Liquid are going to start tweeting us because we're running out of nice things to say about these guys. But Soulcast, he might give us the reason. That's a good starting play for him. Cryptic's onto safe as well. They're falling back. They're allowing the site control to come in. But Yassine, he has been the headshot machine. He's going to make sure they still have a fighting chance in this one. And they're not even going to fully commit to A just yet. Yassine starts to come back into it. Smokes up in window. The plant's going to come in. What can Scream do from here, though? This is the man that Liquid often have to rely on. Oh, it comes down to timing. He misses the first few shots. Yoga's able to get away. Damage was done, but that was it. They're pushing on forward. And Link, though, he is the headshot king. 3 in a row. He locks it down for Liquid. No problem for a defuse. And they get the pistol round they desperately needed.
Huge. And look at that. After the 3 kills, they're like, you know what? You take the defuse as well. Typically, you're going to see that Sage is the one defusing and planting if possible. It all depends on timings and opportunities. Obviously, you're not going to take too many risks to give it, but a lot of the time that will happen just because you're going to want that res. If you look at the lineup at the moment over on Team Liquid, like in terms of ultimates, Link is definitely the most important. You'll have a little bit more debate when it comes to Bonk, obviously, because they haven't got the res. So playing around something like, it depends, you know, you can pull out the knives on safe, the showstopper if you want to as well. Really up to yourself. This kind of push by Scream, though, is dangerous. So many players coming around the corner.
That invulnerability, though, it saves him. You hate it, Mitch. If you guys can't see Mitch's camera right now, his face is a picture because Scream walks in, gets the kill, he plays it cheeky, he goes invulnerable, and then he's not finished yet either. This is just a madman. He doesn't even need to heal himself up just yet. He puts the orb out. He wants them to push him. This is where Scream is hungry, and he will not allow himself to go out. He's being backed up by Eccles, who, unfortunately goes straight back down. Don't give him too much away with this.
Jeez, so they actually blinded him. So Eccles actually blinded him with the paranoia. So Scream was like, yeah, blind him and I'll swing with you. And then he just got wrecked. Link with an easy 2 for 1. But man, what a round. I love that. Scream goes forward. And we talk about those reactions, right? Yeah. That was what we were highlighting on the desk previously, over in the previous tournament about Scream. I love him on the Reyna because he's so fast in deciding when it's time to pop it and when it's time to run for the hills. And right there, just boom, as soon as he gets the kill, disengage, run away, gets back. And did you notice as well, he was at the perfect distance by the time he popped it, whether that was down to where he took the fight or just a little bit of luck, that he was able to make it just about around the corner, and then the invulnerability faded.
But with a little bit of luck, Liquid might just survive the fight here on Haven. That's certainly what it's going to be. 9-5, but with Bonk having the guns now, it's going to be a bit of a different fight coming in. We do need to see more from Aaron and Bonka themselves. Yassine, again, him and Ziz have been up there, dominating from start to finish. Eccles looking to hold strong, but he's only good for 1. The site is now secure, but how do they want to try and play off this? Link, he charges on forward, he delivers the headshot, but he's only able to get 1. It's still all to play for. The cage has gone up. But can Scream push on through? Does he even want to try it? He's expecting maybe someone will try to play off it themselves. Oh, right up into it. Nicely done. He's only on 8 health, but he backs away in the nick of time. Cryptics now, if he can pick up 1, that's going to be the huge play, and that's exactly what he does. Bonka tries to swing on him. They're both very low on health, though. This is definitely possible for Bonka. He's got the spike. He's looking out for the camera. He's expecting the spots. There it goes. Going to go in for the plant. Timing is just about on his side. He needs to win this for his team. He's got to check all his corners, all his angles, but will he expect Scream? He goes in for the first, looks in for the second. Does he expect it? Oh, Scream! The 8 AP headshot! And that's how you get it done. He heals himself up. He goes in for the defuse. And that is what the Reyna is all about when Scream is in charge. Woohoo!
Gorgeous work by Scream on that quick second bullet headshot, I think it was. And Bonk got to be disappointed for that round to fall apart. And they had so many opportunities. You seen even pop the ultimate. And then obviously Link did the exact opposite of what we talked about in the previous game. You know, typically you hear the ult, you run away, but Link just charged in with the judge in hand. And he shut him down before that rocket could even leave the barrel. Oh,
now this is certainly doable for them, Mitch. It's getting absolutely possible because we know what Liquid can get done. You spoke about their attacking side on Liquid normally being better, but right now they might show us one of their best defensive. A Scream! Oh dear, it's just far too easy for him sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, only up against the pistols, but it's how quick he hits those shots.
It's just a shot. Didn't matter if he had a phantom or whatever, right? It's just, oh, headshot, cool.
Yep. So he's gone for the disengage there. Would have been nicer for the heal, but obviously worried about another player being around the corner. So when he popped that, he gets a little bit of extra information, able to swing wide with no risk, see no one's there, and now continue to push up on the back of that. Link has spotted one more, and they don't know about the final player who was sitting outside of A, but this wallbang to death, so that'll be 9-7. And Liquid, they're coming right back into this. And I said if they lost the pistol round in this half, things could have really just fallen apart.
Yeah.
But they haven't. They've won it. They've managed to clock up 4 in a row to put them back in a position where now we really have a game on our hands.
And this is the thing, right? It's 4 in a row for Liquid. Other than that, right? If Bonk had maybe got one round in the middle or got the first gun round and they went a bit back and forth, it just favors Bonk. But it's Liquid getting some momentum here. That's what's going to be key in it. They get the momentum. They try and push forward. They try and stand strong from start to finish. That is possible for them to come back into this. We spoke about how good Reyna is on the attacking side, but when it comes to the defensive side, right? Scream is one of the best players we've ever seen with Reyna in his hands. Aaron, though, we said him and Bonkar needed to deliver a little bit more if they want Bonkar to take this win, and that's exactly what's going to be happening if they can hold on to this round. Now, the Sage ult is still up, though, so the revive can come into play, and I think Liquid will have no problem spending it this early on, especially with how much, there we go, Link has been able to gain with the Judge, with the weapons he's had in hand. And this is why I love Link on the Sage, Mitch.
It is always nice to see, isn't it? Link gets so many kills that res is always online. It's really ideal. You saw that double to open it up, following into the plant over in the first round. It's going to be a rough retake for Liquid, though, even with that, even with the 5v5 in play. Smokes just keeping them out of heaven. No angles open to them, and from this point, you know, they need to commit something, and that is not ideal. Bonker just keeping them out of there. Not firing the final ult. Oh, that's huge. Scream forced into the open with the ult up. Goes in for the disengage. Already healing. They don't see him. He's invisible and invincible by the looks of things, because Scream cannot be dealt with. Looking for a little more. Runs out of ammo, though. And so Aaron's able to get a double. This could be it. This could be the round going their way. Scream tried so hard, but in the end, he didn't succeed.
Aaron making it up for the previous rounds, the whole previous rounds, just in that one. Someone needed to stop Scream, and he was the man to do it. A 10th round finally secured, and ultimately the money's not amazing here for Liquid looking at the scoreboard. Like, you can buy off this, but it's not going to be pretty. Ooh, a Judge on Eccles, okay. Yeah, this is semi-problematic for him. You can definitely win with a buy like this, but literally, if they lose the next round, they're broke again.
And notice where Eccles is playing as well. You know, typically, that Judge is going to be in Garrett, but they've decided to deploy it on B. I kind of like this, though, because it means your rotator in towards the C site has got a rifle to play with. And so first contact, at least, should be a little bit better, rather than leaving Cryptix to do everything by himself. So I'm a fan of that play. Link, obviously, with the operator in hand, needs to be careful, though. Bunker's being spotted out. They know that he's there on long. They should have known about the second player as well. Link eventually goes through and holds the angle, knowing now he's on the right side. They're going to commit a smoke to getting him out of there. That made sense. I was hoping that they did, especially because it's only a jet smoke.
Now Yassine's position. Plenty of time to wait for. He doesn't have to push on it either. This could be great for them. It's all going to come down to timing. This push coming in. Scream right on the edge of it as well. Oh, so close yet so far. Do they even know? Scream with a headshot again. Of course, it's expected. But you're seeing he's going to even up the numbers. How much more can be done? The Omen ult's going to be popped as well. For the information play to come in. You're seeing sneaking around. The knives are out from safe. Oh, and the grenades as well. Bonk. They're back up in it. 4v2. The Raze ult, though, could be the difference maker here if they're close enough with it. Reyna in the right hands on Scream is the ultimate weapon.
No, like previously. That's obviously going to throw a spanner in the works, and it looks like they might even be thinking about the save. Yeah,
the money.
Running in towards spawn. It's the right call, 100%.
Agreed.
But again, a heartbreaking round, the way it plays out.
Mm-hmm. You feel sorry for them at moments like that, right? Where, like, Bonk, they play it so well, but it's like Liquid were right on the edge. They actually saw the opportunity in front of them. They just couldn't push on it. And people were criticizing Scream in the first half on attacking side. Well, he's done what we normally see on the attacking side to come in on his defensive side for Reyna. And if I'm right, Mitch, don't I remember a lot of NA pro players saying that, like, Reyna can't work? Well, they need to watch a bit more Scream.
I think it's more Reyna can't work for them. Is probably.
They don't have the same skills as him. I get it. Okay, that's why. There we go.
And NA versus EU, you know, it'll be fun if we ever get that kind of fight, but I imagine when it does come through, we're going to see a massacre.
Scream's just going to be styling on him.
I look forward to the day, but at 11-7 right now, Scream proving the NA theory crafting wrong. But unfortunately, the rest of the team, they're just like 7 on the board. It's not undoable, but it's definitely not good.
You know what's funny for me? Is that, okay, Scream's, oh my god. He shot the boom bot. I think that actually saved one of the Bonk players there. Bit of damage done. I was just going to say, right, when it comes to looking at how we see all of this go down, it's actually for Eccles. He just struggles on Haven. Many times I remember him having bad games on Haven. The other maps, not so much. So it's a bit of a problem for Liquid right now because he is normally the one you see middle of the pack, staying strong, always good for a clutch, good smart plays. But right now, he's really having some problems, and so is Soulcast after that headshot lands. Ziz takes it, backs away. He's going to stand around a bit here. Eccles trying to play off the side of it, and he's just going to fall as well. 5v3, there's no revive up on the Sage, and Bonk, they are just in such a good position here.
They really are. They've got it locked down at the moment. When it comes to just overwhelming the sites, they should be able to do it. They've actually gone into C where there's no one even to contest with. We saw Cryptix just fall back from that angle. And although he spotted one out with the cam, unfortunately not able to spray through the smoke in time. Safe manages to remove the dart. Aaron whiffing completely. And that's the opening they needed. Now they'll definitely commit to this.
And rightly so. The ult's in play. You've got some extra information. Okay, they'll get some extra information thrown their way for Bonk. But is it going to be enough? The shot dart's going out as well. Scream has to be careful, but Link's landing the shots. They're pushing on round. They're trying to make it happen. It's a bit of back and forth for Bonka. He's getting it done for his team. He steps up when needed. 12-7. They hit match point, and Bonka gets away with murder. Him and Aaron have both had a round now, which makes up for their terrible first half.
Scream just didn't realize how much ammo he had left. He started to pre-aim it, try to wallbang and pre-fire, but as he swung wider, click, 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 nothing came out. Oh man, that's heartbreaking. And Bonker's still finding the second and third kill was massive. And on 12-7, this could be Liquid knocked out of the winner's bracket, at least in their group, and pushed down to potential elimination.
And this is the thing, Bonk just cruise on forward, right? It's a beautiful day looking for them if they get this done. The winner's match, they go through 2-0.
We did say this though, Banks. We said that there's no team, there's no group that's easy, right?
No.
Every single game that we see can be close and competitive in this tournament. The teams that we've got are insane. And although some groups like FPX have qualified through, they've won their game versus BBL already, confirming themselves as top spot. G2 have done the same versus Need More DM. So really, it's all down to Liquid and NIP to prove that they're worthy of being in the top spot of their groups.
Liquid now fighting for survival. No mistakes can be made here. Soulcrash trying to jump spot, needs to be careful as well. Needs to see a quick heady come through. The smoke goes up, the push is coming in. Yassine's putting him on the floor, and he's got both of them. They're straight into A. The Cypher ult's going to be deployed instantly. And they have so much to work with here on Bonk. Liquid. A 3v5 retake, and there's still a Raze ult up as well. Where do you decide to push on this? Cryptix was firing a few shots into the dark. Nothing to connect just yet. Pretty standard positions coming out here is safe. He lands one. The ult's been popped. Yassine's just holding it. He'll keep him at bay, but he lands it onto Eccles. He expects it to come through. 13-7 and Bonk are through. First place in the group, a 2-0 here, and they take down the second best team in Europe in Team Liquid. I am impressed. They were my team to watch coming into this, and they've started off strong in the best of ones. But, you know, it gets a lot more difficult, Mitch, when it comes to the playoff stages and those best of threes.
Obviously it does, but what a game. My God, we can't breeze over that. Bonk 1-0ing Liquid, knocking them out of the top spot in the groups. This now makes things very scary, because if Liquid make it through, if they're the second team, they could be playing the likes of a G2 straight away. Like, that could be a quarterfinal loss for Liquid potentially.
This is how these groups could go. We said no group was easy, but a 9-3 first half defensive side from Bonk and Liquid's attacking side, they just got off to such a slow start. We normally see so much better coming out from them. We saw them warm up into it afterwards, but with just so many rounds they had to make up for, it was just far too much.
Yeah, look, everything about how Bonk played, that was perfect, though. They punished every single mistake. They found themselves in spots consistently where people like Yassine were able to just dominate those fights. Yeah, we had a couple whiffs here and there, but my God, that was unbelievable. To have such a slow start as well, like you were mentioning, obviously Bonker really not being there in the first half, and they still got 9-3 up. Jeez, that's blowing my mind, honestly. This is a team without an organization. Who are now one of the few teams to beat Team Liquid, just heads up in a big tournament.
And when we're looking down that, right, Yassine, the standout player, he went 26 for 12. Ziz was there close as well, 20 for 14. We're looking at the groups we've got at the moment, right? And we said about this, Bonk and Liquid likely to be the ones that make it through. Well, now we're sat in a position where Bonk have made it through, and Liquid, they're going to have to face off against either Skade or Prodigy. I don't know who's won out of the game that was going on there. I'll have a quick refresh and see where we're at with it all. But they now go on to this elimination match. So it was Skade that won, yeah?
Yeah, so Liquid versus Skade will be going down in the lower final. That's insane. Like that's a hard game, though, Banks, because you look at the score, it was bind 13-10. Like, they did not win that one easily. So that is a pretty rough situation now where, like, okay, they're probably going to win versus Skade, but there is at least a tiny possibility that they go out in groups. That sounds weird. Hold on. Let me just double check. Yeah, they could go out in groups.
And so G2 went 13-7 against Needmore DM. That was on Ascent. Like, you can't really challenge G2 on Ascent. They're solid on that. So they're through as well, 2-0. FPX went through. They won both their games, right? 13-2 and 13-3. FPX are in that full swing, show-stopping form. And then it's going to be between BBL and Angry Titans to go for the mix-up in that. Big. So they actually won 13-8 against Valorant. I can mess that one up so bad. Oh, dear. Valorando. There we go. We're getting there, Mitch. Yeah, slowly but surely, you know. It's only just the second game. We'll continue to move on forward.
Valoranda. It's like, it sounds like an ancient Egyptian god, like Exodia and Yu-Gi-Oh! Just I summon Valorada.
See, I'm surprised you know that. There you go, Exodia and Yu-Gi-Oh! You're not that young then, comparison.
That was my stuff, shall we say? I was a Yu-Gi-Oh! Kid through and through.
Good man. When we're looking at the other side of things, though, the elimination match, Giants took down Inferno, so we were kind of right about that spotting. So we've had some real interesting matches to start off with these group stages. They're coming through thick and fast, but there's been no given just anyone can take this other than the G2 and FPX side of things, especially with Liquid being in a position they found themselves in now.
Yeah, hey, you got to give credit to, so the teams going out at the moment, Prodigy, obviously they came up against Skade, what was it, 13-2, yeah, so they didn't have a great performance, really. I was hoping to see a lot more from them, certainly versus Bonk. They couldn't deliver, but with the... I don't mind that. I don't mind that much at all. Inferno going out as well. I'm disappointed, really. I thought Inferno could do a lot more. As I said, this is a team with a lot of potential. I know Niso personally, Drake, and obviously I think everybody knows Lowell as well from Counter-Strike. And these guys did a lot of damage. They almost beat NIP 13-11 on Ascent. That was a very close game. So for that, like 13-11 versus NIP, 13-9 versus Vodafone Giants, those are two pretty tough opponents. And I think if you scattered them in probably down towards like a group D, Wave, Angry Titans, BBL, they probably could have taken those teams. So I think that's someone that, yeah, okay, they go out and basically like tied last place with a couple other teams, but I would still give them a real coming into a future tournament, I would not underestimate them.
Now that BBL Angry Titans match would be wild. Last time we were covering BBL, their entire community came out like large and in charge, right, screaming and shouting for these guys. But they had so many close games against some of the best teams that we have here in Europe. So them going up against Angry Titans, I'm hella interested in that.
Yeah, no, look, there's a lot of potential when you're looking towards the BBL lineup. The fact that they're able to still come through, like, let's take a look at the games there. They already beat Angry Titans, obviously 13-2. So I'm imagining then you're looking at a fairly one-sided game. But then up against FPX, 13-3. I think there you're seeing the lack of someone like CNET who's able to find all those opening duels for them and really get in. Russ is being relied on a lot more, and he is delivering for sure. But then someone like Aslan, in that game, he found, 5 kills? And Aslan was someone that, towards the start of the Allied Odyssey, he was there. He was playing really well, but then really slowed down and didn't give us that same performance.
Well, it's time for our interview, this time with the Bonk camp. And we've got Yassine to bring in. Yassine, how are you feeling after that one? Because that was one hell of a game, not just from the team, but you individually as well. You guys dominated Liquid from start to finish. That 9-3 first half, man.
Yeah, we had some flow. Everything we planned out went as planned. It's mostly a relief, I'll be honest with you. We were up 10-2 on Haven against BBL, and we managed to lose that. So I'm mostly relieved that we fixed our problems during this week and last week, and are here to show that we are a top contender for the #1 spot.
Hey, and you guys are certainly showing it. Now, what's interesting, right, is you go up against a team like Liquid, you have this really good scoreline in there, but they start to come back into it a little bit. What's the communication like for you guys at moments like this? What are you guys saying to yourselves? Because there was certainly a world where we were seeing Scream pop off, that they might have had a chance to come back into that and potentially take it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's just to keep talking. I think that's the secret. Usually when they are starting to come back, what it usually happens is it goes quiet, it becomes a funeral in TeamSpeak. So I think the secret to that is to just keep talking, and especially in officials, we never stop talking, and we always believe in the comeback. And me and Bonker, especially when we played in NIP, we had this tendency to have to make comebacks. We were always down so much. So I think some of that mentality is still within the team, and we just keep talking. Honestly, we just keep talking.
That's the way to do it, man. Communication is the key to success. Now, you touched on it there, right? When you guys were in NIP, you guys didn't really get too much of a chance to show yourselves, yet you've had great games. You're looking for an organization at the moment. How much time are you guys able to commit to the game, though, and practice and playing all these events at the moment while you're looking for an org? Is it a bit of a stress on you guys to try and balance it all?
No, I mean, during the summer, everyone, we have 2 younger guys still in school. So during the summer, it was easier, definitely. Now we're kind of practicing a lot late night, stuff like that. And it's funny you say that, because I even said during the game that, we don't even get paid, boys. We got 2 people still in school, and we're destroying these guys. Just keep focusing. But I don't think it matters too much. Obviously, it's going to be a lot easier when everyone's graduated and, we get salaries and can fully focus on this. But I mean, we're managing, and I think we have one of the strongest lineups in the scene right now. So I think we'll do fine.
And I love the positivity there. You're like, when we get an organization, right, you're expecting it to come already. You're trying to show yourself some of it. Now, you've 2-0'd this group. You've made it to the playoff stages. But when it comes to a best of 3, how confident do you guys go into that side of things? Where do you see your weaknesses are and your strengths are?
I mean, best of 3s are supposed to benefit the better team, and we believe we are the better team. So as soon as we heard that the quarterfinals finally going to be best of 3, we kind of relaxed, because then we know, okay, whatever happens is going to happen, and we are the better team. We are supposed to go win the whole thing. So I think that best of 3s, best of 5s are some kind of a relief for us, honestly.
You're seeing, I'm liking what I'm hearing, my man. Thank you very much for your time. I'm sure we'll be speaking to you later on, no doubt. And good luck going forward into the playoffs.
Thank you. Take care.
You too, man. Wait, what a confident guy there, Mitch. This man's like, when we get an org, when we win the whole thing. I love it when we're hearing this kind of action coming out of the players here. And right now, they should be feeling like that after the performance we've just seen from these guys.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, if Bonk were coming in after that game feeling like they can take on the world, I don't know what would get them going. They've just knocked Team Liquid down out of their top spot in the group, and that's phenomenal for a team that didn't even qualify to the Allied Odyssey. And we'd said back then we wanted to see them. We'd love to see what they could do in one of these tournaments, and now we get it. And this is huge. Absolutely massive win. I'm so happy for them.
And see, Mitch, like, I don't know what you do, right? I said at the beginning that I'm excited to see him shine in this tournament from the very beginning, before they played their game. So, you know, just going to sit here and gloat a little bit that they are a team that are destined for success. But this just shows us how stacked the competition is in Europe, right? Like, we come through and we've got 16 teams here, and it's impossible, other than out of like G2 and looking at maybe FPX and Liquid, for us to be 100%, yeah, they're going through, because upsets like this can happen even to teams like Liquid. It goes to show that not just the biggest names will find success straight away, and a lot of these teams need organizations and they need signings. So if there's orgs looking out there, keep your eyes peeled on events like this, because this is where it's all going down. What's going down next, though, is our next game. We're going to go to a quick break before that, so stick with us. Type !giveaway in chat to win yourself some Valorant points, and we'll see you guys real